to get started to see which one can be the most retarded. Tinfoil haters, it's time to start the show. Tinfoil haters, it's time to start the show. Tinfoil haters, don't tell them what to say. Tinfoil haters are here to save the day. To get started to see which one can be the most retarded. Tinfoil haters, it's time to start the show. Tinfoil haters, it's time to start the show.
Welcome back to Tinfoil Haters. How are all you vital idols doing? Damn, do we have a good show. And by good, I mean ultimately black pilling, and you were after this probably going to at least attempt to commit suicide, but I'd say, okay, don't do it. We're all going to be in this together. We'll fight the good fight. Thank God Cindy's not here for this. She would not be prepared. But seriously, we are down to Cindy. It's unfortunate. That being said, we have a hell of a show. My partner in crime, Sammy 3P. Tell the people who you are and what you do.
We're doomed.
We're kind of fucking doomed.
I'm Sammy 3P. I'm a Detroit-based musician, but every now and then I stream on the interwebs, and every Tuesday you can find me here with my buddy.
You'll love to see it. Yeah, this was a hell of a topic. I wasn't sure, like, I knew I always wanted to cover this topic. I also didn't know how deep it went, and you did, of course, your own research. What were you feeling when doing research for this week's show, my man?
Oh, it's all connected, and just like the deeper I got, the more like existential dread I started to be.
Yeah, because not to bury the lead for you guys, but this one isn't a conspiracy theory. This is a fact. Like I've got undeniable proof that this is all real. Sammy, I'm sure you found stuff as well. There's
it's got a fucking Wikipedia page.
Yeah, like right. It's got its own Wikipedia page. Yes. All right, we're jumping ahead. Let's see who we got up in this house. Jack S. G2s is here. Cliff 420, Philip Morgan, how you doing? Dylan B, the Valiant Goat, Dragon Defenders up in this bitch. Nacho Ninja, Eagle Lord is here. Gal Carrimon representing over on Kick. We got Lithium Lux Eterna, Soul Assassin, Melphis Sky, Too Cool Curry, and of course Sammy will be talking to you guys in the comments as well. Johnny Boy, Jake motherfucking Martin. Black Tailgate is here. What is up? Is that anyway? Saint Hugo, the true Aztec warrior, is here. We got each other, haters. We do. We got each other. This is one of those episodes. You know, I'll wait. Let's see. Amanda, shout out. LMA, say me, yo, y'all. How you doing, LMA? Matt Stanford, Janice Landers is here. Who else we got? I know there's more, you guys. All right, that seems to be it for now. When I tell you guys certain episodes can get us in trouble, what is up, Korean Cowboy? Certain episodes can get us in trouble. Today is one of those episodes. Like this is one of those episodes I was like, you know what? We kind of might be in danger for just putting this out here all on Front Street.
Oh, we're boned.
So in case I don't ever make it to another episode of Saturday Night Hypnosis again, just assume that the Illuminati got me. And I say that jokingly, but this, wherever you stand on like the Illuminati, a global cabal, whatever, this is the real Illuminati. We're talking about the Club of Rome today. And the Club of Rome, this is some devious shit. Anything to add, Sammy, or should we just get right into it?
Well, it's funny that you said like Illuminati. If it's not the real Illuminati, it's like a branch of it, right? Like it's one of the.
Right. Like this would be a let's assume that the Illuminati is real. This would be like a subsection of them.
Yes. Or was like, what was the other one we did? Like the meeting of 100.
Yeah. What is that? Is it the meeting of 100? Or
the Council of 100. It's something of 100.
Yeah. The Council of 100's point is this is unlike those that are unsubstantiated, but we all believe exists. This group is real. In fact, they're a global think tank. Let's just go ahead and talk about it right now. Clubofrome.org. This is their official website.
Yeah.
Like these guys have a website. Okay. This is all fucking Committee of 300. Thank you.
That's what it is. Thank you.
Global equity for a peaceful and healthy planet. A platform of thought leaders addressing global challenges through systems thinking. And then we'll go through the what we do, the ready plans, material transformations, cultural transformations. 200 figures convene in Latin America for Club of Rome International Conference on Regeneration. Buenos Aires hosted the meeting for thought and action, the path to regeneration, which brought together over 200 regional leaders and addresses the poly crisis to promote new development agendas on the 23rd and 24th of April. This was one of their most recent events. But they do events like this all the time, including speaking engagements at, say the magic word, Sammy.
Davos.
There we go, Davos. Yup, World Economic Forum. And there will be a lot of quotes that we'll be pulling from their World Economic Forum speeches. It is truly diabolical. And again, I know that we all believe stuff like this was real, but never so just like brazenly out in the open. Let me just go ahead and give you guys a quick history. Just on what's on Wikipedia. I know Wikipedia is not always a great source, but like just for how out on Front Street this is. That's why we're using Wikipedia.
Yeah.
The Club of Rome is a nonprofit, informal organization of intellectuals and business leaders whose goal is a critical discussion of pressing global issues. The Club of Rome was founded in 1968 at Accademia dei Lincei in Rome, Italy. At least in the early 2000s, the main club has allegedly been limited to 100 members, actually about 150, often selected from current and former heads of state, government, UN administrators, high-level politicians, diplomats, scientists, economists, business leaders from around the globe. That part's going to be important. It generated considerable public attention in 1972 with the first report on the Club of Rome, The Limit to Growth. Since July 1st, July 2008, the organization has been based in Winter, Switzerland.
So it should be called the Club of Switzerland.
Yeah, the Club of the Swiss. In 1965, Italian industrialist Aurelio Picci gave Picci, however you say that, who cares, gave a speech about dramatic scientific and technological challenges happening in the world. The speech was noticed by Alexander King, a British scientist who advised the British government, who was currently serving as Director General of Scientific Affairs at the OECD. King arranged a meeting with Picci. The pair shared a lack of confidence that the problems faced by the world could be solved by development and technological progress. So let's just analyze this. The pair shared a lack of confidence that the problems faced by the world could be solved by a development of technological progress. What they're basically stating here is that technology alone isn't enough to solve whatever problems may come humanity's way. So what's their solution, Sammy?
They needed a boogeyman. So what they did is, they want to turn the masses against each other with ideas like global warming and what's the other one, like pollution, environmental issues.
Well, that's what they say, but that's all a cover for something, and that cover is, and I'm not making this up, this is not me being conspiratorial, this is their own words. Well, they phrased it differently, but what they're basically saying is a depopulation agenda.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, overpopulation. That's their their main.
Overpopulation is their key issue, except for they've kind of gone back on that in recent years. We'll get to those weird ass positions in a bit.
Might have backfired a little bit.
Divided society is more easily controlled, and they are. Oh, by the way, shout out! Thank you for the stars there, Piplup, or the jewels, Piplup.
Also, I think you might have gotten raided earlier.
Did we get a raid?
I'll scroll up. I thought I saw someone said "Hail Raiders."
I don't think we got a raid. If we did, then shout out! Thank you to the Raiders. My bad for not calling out, but we got about the average views we usually.
Yeah, howdy bigot.
Yeah, no, I think this is just. I don't think it was a raid. Oh, we did get rated from Hypno. Okay, never mind. Apparently, we got rated from Hypno. Never mind. Shout out. Thank you, Hypno. I appreciate that, brother.
See, I know what I'm doing.
No, thank you. So let's go back to their website. Let's hear about what they do. Like, this is from them. This is what we do, right? The Club of Rome is a platform of over 150 diverse thought leaders and changemakers working across geographies and sectors. We connect people, knowledge, and action to catalyze systemic change, always following our guiding star, global equity for a peaceful and healthy planet. Now, what's the key word there? There's a couple key words.
Yeah. Equity.
There we go. Equity. I gotta harp global. This is beyond the US. This is outside the US. This is global equity. Whenever Alex Jones talks about the globalists, they're literally telling us they are globalists right here.
Shit, most of them will have it in their profile now. Like they'll have like that little globalist insignia. They're like, oh yeah, I'm pro this, and was like, you are evil.
This work builds on more than 5 decades of thought leadership. In 1972, The Limits of Growth, a report to Club of Rome, warned of the consequences of unlimited growth on a finite planet. Since then, over 45 reports to the Club of Rome have been published, alongside policy papers, new initiatives, and award-winning podcasts, all spreading ideas that inspire system change.
Guys, this is Spectre from James Bond. Like, right? It's a real thing.
We're literally looking at Bond villains. You're entirely correct. How nice of the Club of Rome to bridge out. Fucking for real. Catalyze is always bullshit speak. Yes. A vision, a world that has moved beyond emergencies with reimagined systems that support human capacities to deliver well-being for all on a peaceful and healthy planet. The mission. Go on.
I was like, that all sounds nice, but it's a bunch of bullshit jargon words. That means nothing.
It's a fucking bumper sticker, an ineffective bumper sticker, but it's a bumper sticker. These people are literally telling us they intend on culling us. Correct.
Yes.
Build effective momentum towards well-being for all on a healthy planet by making sense of the evolution of human societies, paving positive future pathways, inspiring processes of collective learning, and influencing decision-making. Influencing decision-making? Again, you're just putting it all out on Maine for us?
Step 1, the bugs. Step 2, the pods.
They actually. So I know it's a joke. Like, oh, you will live in the pods, you'll eat the bugs, you'll be happy, dude. I have pulled quotes from these people where they basically do say that you will own nothing and you will be happy. Like that is one of their fucking tenets. So let's talk about some of their members. The Club of Rome is an organization of individuals who share a common concern for the future of humanity and strive to make a difference. Our members are notable scientists, economists, business leaders, high-level civil servants, and former heads of state from around the world. Yeah, these are all the people that I trust in a post-COVID world to make global policy decisions.
So scary. It's so scary.
Membership in the International Club of Rome is by invitation and is extended to those who have demonstrated exceptional dedication and impact in their respective fields. Additionally, there are national associations of the Club of Rome that operate independently, in which each its own members' criteria and governance structures. Let's look at some of their members. We got Helmi Abulish, Alexander I Agiv, Nafiz Ahmed, Louis Akinji, Bayo Akomolafe, Abir S. bin Farhan Al Saud, Sadiako Ayu Alao, Carlos Alvarez Pereira, Kamal Amakrank. Are you guys sensing a fucking pattern here? Not a whole lot of white people names, is there?
Well, and then you have, I'm sure she's procreation, right? And like that's
which one? This one?
No, Rachel Lean Anderson.
Oh, yeah. Lene Rachel Anderson. Yes. Yeah, let's keep going. Ugo Bardi, Rushenk Bardolia, Katya Bastioli, Nora Bateson. Oh, there we go. That's a semi-normal name. Who are you? Didn't mean to do that. Who's Nora Bateson? Can we
I don't know. She's balding.
Nora Bates is an award-winning filmmaker, writer, and educator. Her works ask the question, how can we improve our perception of the complexity we live within so we may improve our interaction with the world? She wrote, and directed, and produced the documentary An Ecology of Mind, a portrait of Gregory Bateson. Her work brings fields of biology, cognition, art, anthropology, psychology, and information technology together in a study of the patterns and ecology of living systems. Nora is also a member of the board of Talberg Foundation, Bateson Idea Group. She really loves sucking off this Bateson dude. Human Potential Foundation, and fellow of Lens Fernay, and has been awarded Sustainable Tompkins Ecology Award, winner of the Spokane Film Festival, winner of the Santa Cruz Film Festival, and Media Ecology Award. Yeah, those wins certainly weren't bought and paid for by the Club of Rome.
Yeah, no shit.
We got Shinglin Bin here, Christian Berg, Jerome Binday. Like, okay, I feel like just these names alone should be enough to tell you guys.
Go up.
Go up.
Oh, never mind. I thought that old bastard was Soros when you're scrolling real fast.
Oh, no. But you know that these guys work hand in hand with Soros.
Oh, for sure.
Of the things that we're going to be going over in just a bit. I want to see if there's any names here that we recognize. While I'm doing this, you keep an eye on the chat and see if they recognize anyone. Jerome Glenn, Antha Kumar Giri, Herbert Giradet, Enrico Giovanni. Okay, Giovanni's a power name, though, for real. John Gilmore. That name rings a bell. Hold on. Social entrepreneur activist John Gilmore has research piloted and scaled the LEAP Holistic Educational Development Program for economically marginalized African children living in townships and rural spaces in South Africa. John has worked on integrating the neglected skills of social and emotional learning to pivot the general South African pedagogy for the STEM secondary cognitive learning curriculum. John developed, piloted, and replicated his new LEAP learning method over 17 years, in which youth perform substantially better in public and private schools and national testing. The LEAP method focuses on self-liberation, reflected in legacies of Steve Biko and Nelson Mandela. His present focus includes piloting the LEAP methodology into numerous sub-Saharan national educational systems through a LEAP Teachers Institute. Like, okay, so this dude is basically just using African kids as test subjects, is what he's doing. John is a COVID-19 advisor to the South African Education Department.
I don't know if Matt's screwing around, but he's like, hey, it's Enrico Pilazzo.
Who's saying that? Matt, I don't know if you're screwing around or not. If you're not, let us know. Hold on. No, that's the only Enrico here, so he's just saying dumb shit. Maja Gopal, Leslie Green.
I'm sure Leslie Green has some wonderful opinions on the atomic family.
Take a look at Leslie Green here.
On the nuclear family.
Leslie Green is a professor of anthropology and co-founder of Environmental Humanities South at the University of Cape Town, South Africa. She currently serves.
Why are so many white people from South Africa like woke retards?
I know, right? Thank God for people like Andy.
Like, look at this woman. She looks like an unfunny lesbian comedian.
Lesbian comedian was my thought from the very first point out her picture. Yes. She is the editor of Contested Ecologies, Dialogues with the South and Nature of Knowledge, co-author of Knowing the Day, Knowing the World, author of Rock, Water, Life, Ecology and Humanities for Decolonizing South Africa. Decolonizing? You're the white bitch! Like, anyway, which won the Humanities Book Prize awarded by the Academy of Science in South Africa in 2023. Forthcoming collection titled Contested Ecologies 2, African Ecopolitics and Dignity and Desire. Like, these are the people trying to tell you not to eat meat. And you think I'm making a joke? No, we will get to it.
No.
Let's see. Friedrich Heitenberger. That name rings a bell. Why does that name ring a bell?
It does.
Frederick Fritz Heitenberger is an economist who studied at the University of Linz and received his PhD from the University of Gießen in 1990. From 1993 to 2000, he worked on the Wuppertal Institute Climate, Environment, Energy. In 1999, he founded the Sustainable Europe Research Institute, which explores sustainable development options for Europe, examines global impact on European policies. Between 2019 and 2024, Hinterberger held academic positions at University of Applied Arts in Vienna and for 2 years at the University of Salzburg. So I think I've made my point with who these people are. Let's talk about this book. Not really book, more of a quote-unquote academic paper of sorts. Published in 1972, the message of this book still holds today. The Earth's interlocking resources, the global system of nature in which we live, probably cannot support present rates of economic and population growth much beyond the year 2100, if that long, even with the advanced technology. In the summer of 1970, an international team of researchers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology began to study the implications of continued worldwide growth. They examined the 5 basic factors that determine and, in their interactions, ultimately limit growth on this planet: population increase, agricultural production, non-renewable resource depletion, industrial output, and pollution generation. The MIT team fed data on these 5 factors into a global computer model and then tested the behavior of the model under several sets of assumptions to determine alternative patterns for humankind's future. The Limits to Growth is the non-technical report of their findings. The book contains a message of hope as well. The authors state that the challenge of overshoot from the decision delay is real, but easily solvable if human society decided to act, meaning that forward-looking policy could prevent humanity from overshooting the aforementioned planetary limits. Now, when they say if human society decide to act, that is the depopulation agenda. That's basically saying, hey, you guys can do what is, we're going to make the system advantageous for you guys to not have children. That's what it boils down to at the global level. Like they're not sitting there holding us at gunpoint, instituting one-child policies from China yet, but they may as well be. And we know that their incentive structures have worked because Japan and South Korea and Eastern Europe and the UK and I meant Western Europe, probably Eastern Europe as well, and the UK and Australia and the United States are all below replacement rate. Our birth rates have all fallen below replacement rate.
Plummeted.
The model is based on then current technologies. There's no accounting for technological advancement, which completely invalidates such a model. That's not the end goal. Was not necessarily for them to actually believe the technological mumbo jumbo that they're even espousing.
Yeah.
The end goal is for them to use all their wealth and resources and everything they've accumulated to become a ruling class over us plebeians.
Exactly.
These
are the celestial dragons.
They are. These are the celestial dragons from One Piece.
No, it's not about resources or anything. It's about control. Yeah, you might not be able to control 7 billion people, but you probably could control 2 billion people if there was a united front. You know what I mean? It's it's a numbers game. You can't enact true communism if you have all these people making their own goddamn resources and stuff. You got to get that in line.
Well, and they're basically acknowledging in their not next book, but with their most recent book, they fucked up. So this came out in February of 2026. The End of Population Growth. Now, this is where it's going to get real fun. The era of population growth is ending, and societies are unprepared, argues Ugo Bardini. So if the era of population growth is ending, that means they succeeded in the population decline. Again, Japan, South Korea, America, the UK, Australia, most of Western Europe, all below replacement rate. So they did their job right in getting there to be less people, but they kind of fucked up. And that the End of Population Growth, a report of the Club of Rome, the renowned author and systems scientist Ugo Bardi argues that population decline is likely to begin earlier than widely assumed, potentially within the next few decades, and that societies must adapt now in order to be prepared for this new trend. Now, what are we noticing in all these major first world countries?
The birth rate, they're way down.
No. I mean, because yes, the birth rate, but
mass migration.
Bingo, bango, bongo, mass migration. So when he says that the population decline is likely to begin earlier than we widely assumed, societies must adapt now in order to be prepared for the trend. Mass migration to bring in people to fill the void, because now that they've got everybody reducing below replacement rate, they still need their menial workers. That's how I read this. I mean, if anybody else has any alternative theory, let me know. But that's how it came out to me.
That's what they do all the time. It was like, who's going to pick our strawberries?
Yep.
Who's going to clean my bathroom?
Yep. Yeah. Who's going to pick our fruit? Yes, exactly. Who's going to? No. Browns import infinite third world savages. Hey, How you doing, OG Star Wars? It gets worse than that, Leon. By 2045, white in America will be the minority. Yes, that is also correct. This is their agenda. For thousands of years, population growth has been treated as both inevitable and desirable, says Barty, former professor of chemistry at the University of Florence and a member of the Club of Rome. But the data now tell a very different story. We're facing a population U-turn, and the social, economic, and political consequences are far larger than most governments are prepared for. Drawing on decades of research in systems dynamics, demography, history, and environmental science, the book challenges both traditional Malthusian fears of overpopulation and optimistic assumptions that technological progress alone can sustain perpetual growth with the clarity and wit characteristic of Barty's popular blog, The Seneca Effect. The author presents population change as part of a long-term global cycle shaped by resources, pollution, social stress, and economic structures. Can you explain to me how pollution is in terms with global cycles, if according to you, pollution didn't become an issue until like the Industrial Revolution era and afterwards? It can't be a global like part of our the natural global cycles if it's something that's been, if we were to believe it was real, within the last 300 years. The Earth is billions of years old.
It's just like those, like child raising books, and then 10 years later they're like, no, don't do that, it's actually really bad for the kid. I remember as a child when they wanted us to stop using paper bags and favor towards plastic bags, so
I
you
remember
could
that
save
too.
the trees.
Yep.
Okay, and now we have an island of plastics twice the size of Manhattan. They're like, oh, I guess
Just
we were
floating out
fucking
in the
wrong
fucking
about that. It's
ocean.
almost like you don't know what the fuck you're talking about and should stop interfering in other people's fucking lives. You don't know better.
Combining demographic data with historical and systems-based analysis, the book shows how fertility rates are falling across nearly all regions of the world. Could that maybe be because you put a bunch of these microplastics and endocrine disruptors in our food over the last 30 years as part of your depopulation agenda? Fertility rates are falling all over the world because this was engineered. And the thing is, they know this, by the way. They know this, but they can put out statements like this and be like, yeah, it turns out the population is failing. The fertility rates are failing. When you already told us in the 70s that you wanted population reduction, you think that we're not going to realize that it was you that did this?
Oh, and then you got Bill Gates going like, hey, maybe we should start putting the vaccines in the food. And it was like, well, what else are you putting in our food?
Is Bill Gates and
he's got to be
Club of Rome,
or at least
member.
adjacent.
Let's see. No, it does look like he's adjacent to their members, but he has never actually been a member.
Well, we definitely know he goes to
the meetings and shit.
Yeah.
While global population may continue to rise for a short time, the underlying trend points towards stabilization and decline well before the end of the century. Barty argues that we are likely to see a decline even in current growth areas such as sub-Saharan Africa. Yeah, because even while you were putting all the endocrine disruptors and whatnot in the foods of the first world, the third world was out there populating like rabbits, and now even they're slowing down. It's really interesting that almost everybody that we looked at as a member of the Club of Rome, for some reason, seemed to have their hands in some sort of what's it called? Humanitarian aid in Africa. So after you send in all your humanitarian aid to Africa, now their birth rates are failing. That doesn't seem suspicious at all.
No, completely.
They're trying to control self-autonomy. Oh, we'll get into their actual quotes from some of their speeches and stuff. Just you wait, OG Star Wars. Postmodernism and trust the experts are the actual pollution. Fucking based. While a declining population could ease pressure on ecosystems and climate, the end population growth warns that unmanaged population decline could strain public services, intensify inequality, and destabilize political systems, particularly if governments continue to rely on short-term, growth-dependent solutions. Oh, so now they want to tell the different various governments of the world how to handle this problem. That's right. So you want to be bigger and larger and more powerful than the governments you seek to control. You will control the governments, and the governments will control the people at your behest.
Pretty much.
At the same time, the book rejects alarmist narratives, arguing that population decline is neither inherently catastrophic nor something that can be reversed through simple policy fixes. Population decline is not necessarily a catastrophe, Barty explains. Failing to adapt to it could be. The real danger lies in denial and clinging to economic models that no longer match reality. And that is why they ship in all this, new labor from the third world. That is their adaptation. So let's look at some of their quotes. This outlet had a lot of really good ones. The communist cult of Rome is brainwashing youth into its Marxist ideology with World Economic Forum great narrative strategies. I get that this is pretty biased, but it's my kind of bias, so we're rolling with this source. Capitalism is a poison sustained by narratives of individualism, and the antidote to capitalism is community building and storytelling, according to the Club of Rome. By the way, that wasn't editorialism. That was a quote from this book. So Club of Rome in March of last year released a book called Club of Rome, Young Person's Guidebook to Systems Change.
But by the way, by storytelling, they mean lies.
Yes, correct. They released a book targeted towards school-aged children called Young Person's Guidebook to Systems Change. They're trying to breed an army of young activists, and this, again, is one of the many quotes we'll go over. Capitalism is sustained by narratives which are currently dominating in our societies and the way we view the world. Crucially, narratives of individualism and isolation. But if capitalism is sustained by an ideology of individualism, community is its antidote.
That's horrifying.
That is saying, hey, let's all be commies and everything will be okay.
Join the hive mind.
And you want to know the funny part about this?
Uh-huh.
Sammy, what is a community to you?
An actual community is a group of people who do stuff. Their definition of
no, that's what I said to you. Like, what? Give me examples of some communities you're in.
Oh, I'm in an online community where, I was, like of creators where, we're like-minded individuals who hang out and talk and go on each other's shows.
What about families being community, churches, bowling leagues, D&D? Like you said, communities are just groups of your neighborhoods, the whole nine. Nothing about those being communities takes away from individualism. If you've got everybody that gets together and goes to church, and that's your church community, that doesn't make them any less of individuals or individuals.
Oh no, but you know what communities do? Like the letter people. Like if you have to listen to the community, which is like race based, that's why we have our friends of color. Anytime they say anything that's against the hive mind, they're called terrible names online. And it was like community in that sense is very much the death of individualism.
Yes,
where it was like
correct. And like with the way that they are twisting the concept of communities start to unravel when you scale up. That's why communism will never succeed on a global scale. Correct. Mm-hmm. Like the idea, if me and my neighbors were all in our community, our neighborhood, and we throw a neighborhood barbecue, that doesn't mean we're a collective. I mean, we are still individuals with our individualist ideas at the end of the day. Some dude might agree with Trump's economic policy more than another. Some dude might prefer the idea of higher taxes with more healthcare or whatnot, because these are still individual beliefs and we can all coexist in a community. This here is saying if you are a capitalist, that means that by nature you will have the same ideology as every other capitalist, and therefore that is the community is the antidote to that. It removes the concept of individualism from community, which is absolute bullshit.
Yeah, no, it's an absurd notion. That's, like I said, that's not a community. That's a hive mind. That's what that is, and that's what we've seen with a lot of these quote unquote communities. Is they do these things, and the people who are actually being individuals, they usually get shunned or chastised. Is resistance is futile one of the quotes from the Club of Rome?
No, but we'll get some that are very similar to that. Shout out to Scotty G, member for 6 months. Sorry I'm late. This sounds like a great one. They tried to tell us about this stuff. I would like to remind you guys that the quotes that we're quoting right now, because we'll get to the quotes from the World Economic Forum speeches and stuff. The quotes that we're quoting right now is for their Young Person's Guidebook to Systems Change. This is what they're targeting to children. Capitalism isn't just dominant. It's a shape-shifting chameleon that adapts to challenges faster than you can say systemic injustice. Capitalism has mastered the art of looking like it's changing while staying comfortably the same.
Yeah, who'd have thought?
How is this not just indoctrination to turn kids against capitalism?
Yeah, who'd have thought working hard and producing shit and reaping the benefits of that would shift.
Oh,
with the times.
they have quotes on that as well. Just you're jumping the gun on me, my friend.
I'm
all right,
sorry.
let's
I
some of
must be
these
just
Here we go.
psychic.
Narratives shape our mental models and paradigms, influencing everything from individual choices to systemic behaviors. Oh, the irony is palpable because they're claiming that capitalism is a narrative, while trying to brainwash the youth into not thinking that this is also a narrative.
These people are fucking Luddites.
Because the free market work when left to be free. Yes, correct. The First Global Revolution, a report by the Council of Club of Rome, 1991. So this is one of their quotes from 1991. In searching for a new enemy to unite us, we came up with the idea that pollution, the threat of global warming, water shortages, famine, and the like would fit the bill. All these dangers are caused by human intervention, and it's only through changed attitudes and behavior that they can be overcome. The real enemy is humanity itself.
Such like
what do you even do with a quote like that? Like when you've got this, because I want to remind you guys, this is about 150, a collection of 150 billionaires, give or take, the top 1% of the world, heads of state, politicians, industrial dudes, scientists, economists, and when they're all coming together to say, humanity is the enemy of humanity. Like, okay, that sounds good for a fucking episode of The Twilight Zone. It turns out humans were the real monsters all along. But when you're saying shit like this to try and actually change global, on a global scale, change the agendas, the policies, the cultural values of the world. They say in searching for a new enemy to unite us. They're basically saying, yeah, we were looking for something, we couldn't, so we manufactured it, and the manufactured thing is climate.
Yeah.
Riveting addition, Sammy. Thank you.
No, I'm just saying, it was like it's something that happens naturally throughout the Earth's history, and it is due to happen again. There's nothing that we might do things that might aid it or put it up. The climate's going to change. That's just how it is. There's no area on this planet that's had a consistent climate.
Yeah, go on, my bad.
No, go ahead.
All these dangers are caused by human intervention, and it's only through changed attitudes, behavior that they can be overcome. Wouldn't that still be human intervention? Even if what you were saying was true, all these problems are caused by human intervention. So what's our solution? More human intervention. But trust us, because we're the experts. We can do the human intervention part right this time, because we're multi-millionaire and billionaire scientists and politicians, and we figured this shit out. That's how that reads to me.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's almost said in jest, right? It was like, we all know that people are the problem, right? And they're all, it's like, of course we know. So how do we control them?
Back to the young person's guide to systems change. With community at our side and resilience in our hearts, the good kind, not the sneaky capitalist kind, we might just stand a chance.
The sneaky capitalist kind. So they have this underlying plan to take the food off of your table and control everything you do, but that's sneaky capitalism.
Yep.
You know what sounds sneaky? This shit.
And that's the most brilliant part, because how did they attain all their wealth and power?
Through capitalism.
Bingo, bango, bongo! Through fucking capitalism, dude! This is them basically climbing up the ladder, making it at the top, then saying, you know what, there's some problems with this ladder. You guys shouldn't come up here. Like, that's what this is. What do you mean, the sneaky capitalist kind? You mean the same capitalism that brought the world to the greatest economic and technological growth seen in human history? That sneaky capitalism?
Yeah, no, but you can't tell people what to do when they can forge their own way.
Well, and the thing is, you can't tell people what to do. Excuse me, because people are obstinate. People will do the opposite. People don't like being told, "Hey, don't eat that meat; it's bad for you." So, if instead of telling them, let them eat all the meat they want, while you genetically engineer ticks to give what's that fucking virus?
The one that makes you allergic to meat.
Makes you allergic to meat.
I don't know, but that scared the shit out of me. Yeah, because it's now you can't eat it whether you like it or not. Like
Exactly. So rather than telling people what to do, this is literally a forced change. Alpha-gal, thank you. Yes, alpha-gal virus. Appreciate you. Yeah, or alpha-gal syndrome.
mhm.
I don't know if this is how you spell it, but yeah, it's pronounced alpha-gal. Alpha-gal syndrome. All right. Club of Rome, Young Person's Guidebook. Again, this is directed to kids. Narratives are sneaky little things. They're everywhere, often so ingrained in our culture that we don't realize they're there. Like what you're doing right now to
Yep.
children.
Like a form of people or a club that creates them.
The bad
Sneaky,
news,
sneaky.
systems like capitalism have mastered the art of adaptation, co-opting movements and commoditizing ideologies. The good news, if we understand this resilience, we can outsmart it, pushing for the genuine transformation instead of cosmetic fixes. What genuine transformation do you want? Because they never come out and say communism. They don't. They will say every single thing that falls in line with communism, but they will never say that word.
Oh, of course not, because it's been tried so many times. It doesn't work, and there's people who have been freed from communist countries who will kill themselves rather than go back.
Correct.
Okay, and like I just love this. It was like, how do we stop people from working hard and getting paid what they're due? Like, how do we squash that?
So this will be the last quote from this webpage, but then we'll just go to the next. It gets worse. But so not only is there this guidebook that's being put out by the Club of Rome to indoctrinate children, they also have a summer retreat camp to actually send your kids to.
Oh my
The
God.
Storytelling Fellowship is open to young people passionate about making a difference in the world, including climate activists, advocates for social justice, and members of social impact networks. The fellowship is designed to amplify your voice, equipped with essential storytelling skills, and connect you with a network of like-minded changemakers.
Greta Thunberg had to be like in the first graduating class of this, right?
Fucking right. She is the poster child for this. And what the fucked up thing is, you hear something like this. Oh, it's a summer camp group called the Storytelling Fellowship. Like, you're going to send your kid there and they're going to be like studying Tolkien and come back and learn to be better dungeon masters. No, they're going to come back and say, how dare you? How dare you? You've stolen us the housing market from me. Like, dude, this is what a fucked up name for such a nefarious program to send children to.
Yeah, no, this is like some Hitler Youth bullshit.
Read what Jake said.
holy fuck, that camp is God's blind spot.
That camp is God's blind spot is a diabolical statement. We went to space camp when I was a wee, Jake. Yeah, right. Yes, space camp is clearly.
Yeah, I went to science camp, and you know what we did? We learned about science.
Same. In fact, we did this really cool thing where we made a solar powered microwave, and I was able to actually make s'mores and grilled cheese. It was great. It was super cool. I could probably still do it to this day. Did it out of a fucking shoebox and aluminum foil.
Yeah, we have this thing where we like all held, one person held like one wire and one person held another wire, and like the whole group could like feel the electricity like course through the group, but it wasn't dangerous because you were dispersing the energy correctly, and it was pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, that sounds. So we didn't do anything like that. That sounds super cool.
Yeah, but never once did someone tell me like capitalism is bad.
Right. Yeah. You're dispersing the evil capitalist energies from your chakras.
Yeah. Your masters are your oppressors.
All right. So this is from the first. So we got this one already. This was the real enemy is humanity itself quote. Club of Rome, Earth for All, Austria, July 2024. So here's the thing. So you guys had the history on what this is. In 2024, just like how we saw on their other pages and whatnot, that they do like events, like they had their event in, Buenos Aires. New report identifies pathways to reduce poverty and strengthen long-term stability in Argentina. Global thought leaders call for emergency UN General Assembly session on artificial general intelligence. The end of population. So just like they do all this stuff for all these other countries, this particular one that we're about to talk about, they were in Austria, giving a talk on their meat reduction models.
Wait, there's a famous Austrian I'm thinking of. Oh, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Never mind.
Yeah, see, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not the Austrian I was thinking of. I was thinking of a far more based Austrian.
Yeah.
Although Arnold Schwarzenegger and this other Austrian both did have a very fuck your freedoms mentality.
Yes.
In the Austrian modeling context, the lever reduction of meat consumption was implemented as a behavioral change of consumers. So they did it. Like they actually did. Like they're saying here, it was implemented. They literally implemented policy that led to less meat reduction. That led to meat reduction in a fucking countrywide populace. The club, they call this well-being economy. The Club of Rome was focusing its efforts on influencing individual nation states with its Earth for All national program. Austria is the latest pilot country for this program. In the Earth for All Austria report, the Club of Rome says that Austria must reduce meat consumption in order to provide better nutrition so that citizens to save the rainforests. People also consume
all those Austrian rainforests. You know.
People also consume. It makes sense why Arnold Schwarzenegger was in Predator. People also consume almost twice as much meat per year as the global average. Reducing consumption of animal proteins is essential in order to achieve turnaround in nutrition, the report reads. And this is because animals in Austria are filled with grains that are imported from tropical forests. The report says raising livestock in Europe is killing the rainforests in places like South America. According to the report, food consumption in Austria can also have an impact on land use in tropical forests. This applies in particular to meat, for which animal feed such as soya is imported, and all food products that use palm oil as an ingredient. Tropical forests are often cleared for this purpose, destroying important carbon sinks and biodiversity hotspots. How about you just stop putting palm oils in our fucking food?
Yeah. By the way,
that sounds like an easy way to save the fucking rainforest. Oh, you can't eat Bessie the cow because of the palm oils. Sorry, what were you saying, Sammy?
No, I'm right there with you. And I love how they always what did they call it? They always give these names. It was like it was well-being. What scroll up.
I'm gonna need more. You said scroll up. Okay.
Yeah, it was the name of the.
See,
no,
so
it was like
there's the Earth for All national program.
Then but it was the well-being.
Livestock. Let's see. People also consume twice as much meat. Okay. Essential order to achieve turnaround in nutrition. Reducing the consumption of animal proteins is essential in order to achieve turnaround in nutrition.
I think they just called it well-being nutrition or something like that. It was like they stamped these names on it and it was like, it's called the Happy Fun Time Initiative. That's where we chop your balls off. And it's just like it's so dystopian where there was like the Happy Time Fun program where they cut your balls off. Oh yeah, that's great. And it was like, oh yeah, there's the funny fun time drink where they put arsenic in the water, and that's supposed to
fun fact. That was the original name the Jews gave circumcisions, but it didn't really catch on.
Happy fun time.
State regulations that contradict familiar consumer behavior often met with resistance. For example, many people resist dietary regulations as soon as the importance of reducing meat consumption is emphasized. Yeah, maybe because we know you're full of shit. Yeah. Humans have been eating meat for 10,000 fucking years, bare minimum.
We've been eating meat since we could sharpen sticks.
Right.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I guess it goes way back further than 10,000 years. You're right. Way further back. Telling people what to do rarely goes over well, and the Club of Rome acknowledges this in the report while simultaneously telling governments what to do about changing their citizens' behavior so they eat less meat. In order to change consumer behavior, reduce meat consumption, or optimize and expand protein plant breeding, the Club of Rome suggests the governments use coercive taxation measures and implement a supply chain law for agricultural products to make life difficult for those who do not comply. So again, they're influencing world governments saying, we want less meat eaten, so we're going to tell you, because, hey, we're the experts, we're the scientists, we're the economists, we're the politicians, we're the tech billionaires. Make taxation on meat higher for your supply chain methods.
Oh, but you know what the other thing too? Tell them that they need to cut meat out of their diet. See how they react.
Oh, these same. Do you realize how many of these people are for a 1 or 2 child plan like what China has, are they're huge fans of like a limited child household. What's it called? Yo, shout out for the sub Garcia STH.
Yeah, the one baby policy or the
Stuff like that. How many of the people that are in favor of that in this fucking club have 3, 4, 5, 6 fucking kids?
Oh, of course.
So many of them. Almost all these people have more than 2 children. They want to institute a 2 or less child policy.
Which we been discussed. We don't even know if that's true about like the China policy. There's the numbers don't reflect that to be a thing. That might be an episode one of these days. That was like the numbers in China's
a little bit last week. The Chinese population numbers are actually probably a massive lie.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, how can you have X amount of years of a one-child policy and be over 1 billion when you're below? Yeah, you're correct. We do need. You're right. That'd be a great episode.
But
so,
but I'm saying it. You know, it's the haves and the have-nots. They'll do this shit, and what they say things like, well, we need to make them very uncomfortable if they don't comply. And it's like, well, what does that mean? It was like, oh, well, obviously we're gonna make it so they can't cash their money out of the bank, or like
they did in Greece, I think 2012,
like they did to the Canadian truck drivers.
Oh yeah, they did to the Canadian truckers during COVID. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, this is what Hassan Piker should be raving about. Insert angry terrorist pro-terrorism rant by Hassan Piker, by me right here. I don't want to get you kicked off, but this is where I would do it.
Some of the tax measures include reduction of the reduced value-added tax rate for meat and sausage products and dairy products with socially acceptable compensation payments, higher taxation of processed, fatty, sugary, and animal-based foods, taxation of foods and food ingredients that are harmful to health, environment, and climate. Now, the obvious answer to this, or at least what seems like the obvious answer is, well, why don't you just grow your own food? Why don't you just raise your own animals? Yeah, on what land? They want to take away your property rights as well, but we'll get to that. Like, they don't view ownership as a thing. Permanent wealth monitoring by the state and public database on wealth and income based on this are essential prerequisites for redistribution measures. They said this at their Earth for All Austria conference. Permanent wealth monitoring by the state and the public database on wealth and income based are on this are an essential prerequisite for redistribution methods.
This is terrifying.
Like, there's the state needs all access to all your finances of all times so that it can be redistributed as the state sees fit. Mm-hmm. This is their model. The Club of Rome wants to tell you, oh, we're some environmental organization because we're worried about, the human impact on the environment. If that's the case, why are you calling for a state-backed, state-monitored fucking wealth and income monitoring? That is...
Yeah, well, I mean, even look, like within the last couple of years, what do they ask on your taxes now? Do you own any cryptocurrency? Motherfucker, you should have nothing to do with that.
That's kind of the whole fucking point.
Yeah, it was the entire point. I always tell them no. Tell them fuck off.
Vegan foods are chemicals and plastic, nothing healthy. Dude, I have an ex-girlfriend when she was a vegetarian. Now, I'm against being a vegetarian. I'm a fucking meat eater, motherfucker. You eat some goddamn meats. But that being said, she was a vegetarian. Now, she was skinny, but she was hot. She moved to veganism. Bitch got fat. How do you get like when I say she was skinny, dude, she was all rail. Like when she was a vegetarian, she was like one of them stick bitches. She was like 95 pounds soaking wet. I'm not making that up. When she switched to being a vegan, she got fat, dude. How you get fat being a vegan? Because of what Jen T. Maxey said. Can Bambi get sick sometimes? Yes. The world has disease. It's not new. Vegans act like crops don't get diseases. Yes, exactly. Redistribution will undoubtedly provoke resistance, but inequality and affluence also generate resistance among excluded and marginalized groups. Now, what do you guys think that means? Like when you hear this sentence, redistribution will undoubtedly provoke resistance. But inequality and affluence also generate resistance among excluded and marginalized groups.
It means it's okay for them to loot the target because, slavery.
Yeah, like when you hear things like ESG, when you hear things like DEI, when you hear things like all these programs, these outreach programs for these marginalized groups, the gays, the blacks, the women, all sorts of shit like that. It's just to that intersectionality is just to rally them together so they all feel like they're under one banner. So that these guys, the Club of Rome, have a strong army. Like they are literally just building up an army of pawns who agree with them based on the intersectional ideologies that they that have the crossover. That way it can look like they've got this massive coalition that are all against one person, and that one person or one peoples, and that one peoples is the rich.
Yeah, and that's why it's so funny too, because these coalitions, they never work because they're all ideologically different. That's why when you leave them to their own devices, they eat themselves. You know, it doesn't work. You know, it was like Islamic people should not be marching with the LGBTQ people. Like it's not.
It doesn't make, but again, their brainwashed indoctrination over that intersectionality is what makes it make sense to them. Like Muslims and communists, for instance.
Yes, exactly. No, the unholy marriage.
Redistributions are not yet considered appropriate. In future, much better comprehensible communication of the cushioning measures will be needed here. So basically, this is a very, very complicated way, a lot of $10 words being used to say, if we can softball the conversation enough for long enough, eventually we'll be at a point where redistribution just makes sense to people.
I'm so glad I'm on a 15-year mortgage, dude.
It means the public has too many guns. Yes, correct.
Yeah, that's the next thing. It was like, oh,
Eagle Lord says they'll eat their own, and I get
they will.
Probably means he probably means ideologically or metaphorically. No, when the communist regime takes over and everybody's starving, they will literally be eating their own because cannibalism will be the only option available to them.
Well, and a lot of those people don't realize, you know, the strongest advocates for it don't realize that when communism takes over, they're the first ones on the chopping block.
Every time. The rich and powerful are always the first ones. Yes, Soylent Green is people.
Yes.
More and more people are looking at new concepts for organizing the economy and measuring social well-being. Examples include the circular economy, the sharing economy, the ecological economy, the feminist economy, green growth, the steady state, degrowth, and past growth. Now, I want to focus on the circular economy. Do you know what the circular economy is?
It's where it's all contained, right?
Sort of, yes. So, when you buy a video game on Steam, what are you buying?
The code to play the game.
Yes, you're buying a license to the game. You're not just buying the game. That's the circular economy where the creators, the inventors, or whatever, they actually maintain ownership of the product, and they're selling you the terms of use for the product. They're selling you the ability to use it, not to actually own it. They maintain ownership. That's the circular economy, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing it with streaming. We're seeing it with gaming. I mean, fuck. We're seeing it with goddamn pizza places. You can fucking put pizzas on credit, basically, at this point.
Yeah, that's why I'm a big hard copy guy.
This is from so Dr. Anderson Wijkman, Club of Rome, co-president 2015. Young people are not so crazy about owning things any longer. They want to share things. They want to benefit from services. I remember being a young person in 2015. In 2015, I would have been in my, I think, probably early 20s. Yeah, somewhere in my early 20s. I liked owning shit.
Yeah.
Where did he get this? Young people, you would have been in your mid-20s in 2015?
Mid-20s. I probably didn't have opinion on like a lot of political shit until I started actually paying property tax. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, no, owning shit is great. Paying for it fucking sucks.
When they say young people don't in 2015 that young people are not so crazy about owning things, they're just making this up. The thing is, I've never seen any stats to support that, to back that up. However, he's got this magical 2 letters in front of his name, doctor. Because he's a doctor, people are going to appeal to his authority. That's why you have the logical fallacy, appeal to authority.
We didn't mind sharing things is because it's gotten so goddamn expensive. It was okay that, you know, you all chipped in on a house and everybody got a fucking room. That's because you couldn't afford one on your own.
Right. Or we didn't mind sharing things because we had the choice. It was an option. If I've got the choice to share something, I may or may not. If I order me a fucking pie and you're over at my house and we're hanging out and I share it with you, I made the choice to do that. But you say, yo, Leon, can I get a slice of that pie? I have every right to say no. Go fuck yourself. It's mine. I bought it. Now, again, it's people share things when it's an option to do so, because that is the good nature and good charity of being with your fellow man. They want to force that.
Yeah, for the most part, like when I was of that age, I wasn't just buying the pizza. I was splitting the pizza with people. I was throwing in $10. They were throwing in $10. You know, pizza used to be like $5. What happened? They don't even have that anymore.
Even OnlyFans. Yeah, OnlyFans props up that model. Absolutely. You're not wrong. You used to go to the fucking the dirty bookstore, buy yourself a Playboy, and you own that Playboy. No one was going to take that Playboy away from you. OnlyFans, you don't even own your own goddamn pornography anymore. Like, that's a funny way to think of it, but yes, you're correct. OnlyFans does support that. But again, because this dude's a doctor, that gives him a false sense of authority that people will bow and kowtow to.
Well, it's also disingenuous too. So, like, for everything that we just said, where it was like, no, we okay, is sharing care? Yes, there's nothing better than like sharing things with your friends and having that experience. That doesn't mean that we don't want to own anything ever. You put us in an economic situation
where we can't own it,
where we
that was your goal.
And then they're and then he's going, well, with kids, like it's all the rage now. And it was like, no, that's the weaponization of the situation. You put us in that situation, dick nuts. I know plenty of people who would rather have their own
by design. It's not like it was an accident.
Yeah, exactly.
In circular economy business models, I would like products to come back to me as the original designer and manufacturer. And once you get your head around that notion, why would I actually sell you the product if you were primarily interested in the benefit of the product? Maybe I can stay the owner of the product and just sell you the benefit as a service. Franz Van Houten, World Economic Forum, 2016.
Yep, and it is a service model that has fucked us up in every single aspect. I know people.
Well, I'm using it right now, in fact, to stream this to you guys. I'm using StreamYard to do this. StreamYard is a paid subscription that I do every month. I don't own StreamYard. If at any point StreamYard decides, you know what, we're actually commie faggots and we don't like you espousing this nasty, sneaky capitalist stuff, we're gonna pull you from being allowed to subscribe to it, I'm fucked.
Yeah. Well, shit, I'm even going beyond that. So my buddy drives a BMW. Now, when he wants to put on like his climate control or his air conditioning or his power seats, he has to pay a fee every single month.
Really?
Yeah. They're turning everything is going under this subscription service model, and it's ridiculous. They don't work any better now that it's under like this service thing. It was like people still lose their air conditioning and you still got to take it to the shop to get it fixed. It's insane. Okay. What Microsoft is doing that now. You don't just own Microsoft Word and it updates anymore. Now it's an annual service, you know, for something that you already had for free for years.
The most urgent step for sustainable growth in low-income countries is to increase funding for transformative research in the area of the circular economy in low-income countries. Wait.
Call
the most
centers?
Urgent step for sustainable growth in low-income countries is to increase for why are we caring about sustainable growth in low-income countries? Why can't they figure that? Why do we have a bunch of first world billionaires giving a fuck about what the third world does? Because you don't actually give a fuck. This is just a way to exploit them for your own personal
and they hate that shit. A lot of these people, whether you like it or not, or you know, that's why it doesn't work when we import them here. They're happy doing what they're doing, and that's
not happy cutting each other's heads off and raping each other all day.
But I'm also saying that they live a lifestyle that's it's usually not too technologically advanced. You know, and they're fine with it. Let them be fine with it. They're not. They have a hard time when they come over here because it's, you know, it's like when you unthaw a caveman. You know, there's a culture shock.
Yeah. Bad faith actors have also targeted the forum's coverage of the circular economy, economic systems that aim to eliminate waste by reusing raw materials rather than disposing them, decrying it as a top-down agenda coming from unelected globalists looking to reshape the world in their image. Now, hold on, let's break this down, because this was them at the World Economic Forum in 2022. Bad faith actors have targeted the forum's coverage.
Hold on, just 1 second. 1 second. I have to mute my microphone. Okay, we're good. Let's go.
You and I, right now, Sammy, are engaging in bad faith criticism.
Apparently.
That is how they discredit people. That is
the audacity to call anyone who down talks us bad faith, while all they're doing is going behind people's backs, and then to say exactly what we're gonna call out. It's the most manipulative bullshit in the world.
It is pure evil manipulation. But again, mind you guys, they have said all this publicly. That's why, and we're gonna go to more. They are not hiding. Well, okay, they are hiding this, but I'll explain how when we're done with all these fucking quotes. They just want to waste money that's not theirs to make the non-rich have less power, while the workers have the power of freedom is for everyone. When a ruling class has the power, we just have tyranny. Exactly, devil in red. Decrying it as a top-down agenda coming from unelected globalists. How is it not a top-down? You guys are unelected globalists at the highest points of power. That would make it unelected globalists and top-down agenda and reshaping the world in your image. We don't have a say in this. It's all you. It's all your opinion. It's all what you want.
I know it's fucking insane.
My mic cut out, but that is definitionally your image.
It's like that, like classic like villain trope is where like the guy wrongs you in the back room and has you chase him into like a crowded people. Like, look, he's gonna hit me in the face. I told you he was uncontrollable. He's a bad actor.
I'm just waiting till we get to the part where the villain says, "You and I are not so different after all."
Like, yeah, we are though. We're very different.
Socially acceptable climate protection measures can also include free access to nature, which may require, get this, the communitization of private property. This is what they said at their Earth for All Summit in Austria in 2024. They are, at this point, when they say the community or the commoditization of private property, just say communism, you fucks!
Also, the free access to nature.
Right?
Go outside.
Yeah, motherfucker, I can go outside right now, walk off the property of my apartment. There's some fucking woods and shit all behind me. I know, because when my neighbor lost his goddamn puppy dog, I had to go scrounging through those woods till I finally found the little fucker. I had plenty of nature that day.
Okay? Nature is inherently free. The fact that you want to say this means that your end game is otherwise.
Yeah. Commie gonna commie. That is what this is.
Yeah,
they are telling us who they are. All right.
Oh, did you scroll up? Did you see on that video there? See one of our main guys, Henry Kissinger?
Of sorts.
I watched this video earlier.
Civilizations need a myth to live. End of quote. So, as a follow-up to The Limits to Growth, the Club of Rome came out with a book entitled The Final Global Revolution. This was written by Alexander King and Bertrand Schneider. And on the back of the book, it talks about the Club of Rome, and I quote, Alexander King, one of Britain's most respected scientists, is a founding member of the Club of Rome, which includes, among its members, many public figures, business and industrial leaders, scientists, heads of state. Bertrand Schneider, the Club of Rome's Secretary General, is also a fellow at the World Academy of Art and Science. So yeah, these dudes are certified Illuminati, all right? I'm just kidding, by the way. Don't get hung up on that. Well,
But here's the thing. Even anytime Illuminati is a joke at this point. Like now, frankly, obviously, I believe they exist. A lot of people believe they exist. But whether you believe they exist or not, whether that's too deep in the conspiracy rabbit hole for you, how is this any different than what the Illuminati are purported to be? Like these guys, they may as well be the Illuminati.
Oh, I believe them. I still think they're a fucking joke.
Base.
I'm half kidding, okay? I'm half kidding. Anyway, my point is that in this book, they lay out the plan to enable this agenda to move forward. In searching for a new enemy to unite us, we came up with the idea that pollution, the threat of global warming, water shortages, famine, and the like would fit the bill. All these dangers are caused by human intervention. The real enemy then is humanity itself. End of quote. So, remember my point about how civilizations need a myth to live? Well, yeah, I guess they took that one real serious. Now, okay, so to understand how this all plays a role, well, the World Economic Forum began as the brainchild of the Council on Foreign Relations and Henry Kissinger. You see, Henry Kissinger was Klaus Schwab's mentor, and they met at Harvard. The first World Economic Forum meeting was back in 1971. However, it was the third meeting that really set everything in motion. Yes, the mainline speaker for that event was a man named Aurelio Pesci, another deep...
Straight to the mail. I'll be honest with you, homie. Way too much to fill you in on. You're just gonna have to watch the replay.
Yeah,
And feel free to stick around for the rest of it, but we've covered so much so far, my friend.
populationist who was also a founding member of the Club of Rome. And I quote from the World Economic Forum website, 1973, a prescient warning on the environment. So two developments distinguished the third Davos meeting. First, Aurelio Pesci, the Italian industrialist, delivered a speech on his book, The Limits to Growth, which had caused a sensation by calling...
Is this the dude that like ran Fiat? I could be wrong. What was his name again? Hold on. I gotta go back.
Depopulationist Economic Forum meeting was back in 1971.
Talking about Pesci?
However, it was the third meeting
Yeah.
that really set everything in
I
motion.
don't know.
Yes, the mainline speaker for that event
Here,
was a
hold
man
on.
named
I
Aurelio
have
Pesci,
Wikipedia
another
still open up.
depopulation...
You have what?
I have the Wikipedia still opened up.
Yeah.
Aurelio
See,
Pesci.
because if I could be wrong, I'm pretty sure Aurelio Pesci was a dude who was like a major shareholder or founder of Fiat or something like that.
Okay, his knowledge of other languages brought him to Fiat SPA, although
Fucking called it. It's the fucking one of the dudes who was a major industrialist, like
Yes.
revolutionized Fiat. Yes.
wow, dude, actually this guy's born on the 4th of July 1908 in Turin. He spent his youth eventually graduating from the University of Turin with a degree in economics in 1930. Soon thereafter, he went to Sorbonne with a scholarship awarded a free trip to the Soviet Union. During World War II, Pesci joined the anti-fascist movement, the Resistance, and was a member of whatever. He was
Something
arrested
foreign, who
in
cares?
prison and tortured. After 11 months in prison, he was freed in January 1945. So this guy's like true believer, actual anti-fascist, and then all of a sudden, that button clicks. And it was probably when he was, I don't know, getting educated in the Soviet Union.
In the USSR, like.
who was
I know
also
what's
a founding member of the Club of Rome. And I quote from the World Economic Forum website, 1973, a prescient warning on the environment. So two developments distinguished the third Davos meeting. First, Aurelio Pesci, the Italian industrialist, delivered a speech on his book, The Limits to Growth, which had caused a sensation by calling into question the sustainability of global economic growth. The authors outlined the choices that society had to make.
So this is covering a lot of what we've covered so far, but like you guys get the point.
Yeah.
This is like this
Also,
is...
go back to that picture.
Oh, here, let me pull that back up. I accidentally closed out that page. Give me one moment here.
Never mind.
picture?
It was for a dumb joke.
Damn, yeah, because I don't have the.
I was like, rarely do they show Woody Allen with his.
Here
first
we go.
wife.
Yep. Hold that. Rarely they show Woody Allen. What?
Rarely do they show Woody Allen with his first wife.
There we go. It was worth it. It was worth it. Guys, like at this point, I don't really know. When we talk about conspiracies, right? We talk about conspiracies on the show, whether it be ones that are real, debunked, sometimes the truth somewhere in the middle, psyops. Definitionally, I want to pull the definition back up because I feel like it's very important. Conspiracy definition. Here we go. A conspiracy is a secret agreement between two or more people to commit an unlawful, harmful, or fraudulent act. It implies a planned, coordinated effort to achieve a sinister or illicit objective while keeping the plot hidden from the public or victims. Now, does this constitute as a conspiracy? Based on here, I'll pull the definition up for you guys.
I absolutely think it does.
I do as well, but here we go. Here is the definition for you guys. We'll read again. A conspiracy is a secret agreement between two or more people to commit an unlawful, harmful, or fraudulent act. It implies a planned, coordinated effort. Let me switch back to this page. Coordinated effort to achieve a sinister or illicit objective while keeping the plot hidden from the public or victims. Now, I was having an argument with somebody about this, and they say, no, this doesn't, because it's not being done in secret. Bullshit. And this is the important part, and this is what actually makes it nefarious. This is being done in secret. It's being done in broad daylight, which is the best hiding spot. Because if they come out and put all this on Front Street, say it all on Main, they talk at these World Economic Forum foundations, they do all these things in South Africa or Austria, Argentina, they put on all their little speeches and whatnot. Guys, that is them hiding. That's them hiding because regular folk like you and me, people working their 9 to 5, people just trying to pay their bills, people just trying to make ends meet or raise their kids, just live life, aren't going to be reading books by the Club of Rome. They're not going to be following Davos speakers. Look, we do here on this channel. You guys do, I'm sure. But let's be real. The vast majority of people don't. So they get by hiding in plain sight. And that's where the actual secrecy is.
Well,
so exactly, Jake. So overt, it's covert.
Oh, but even if you do catch wind of it and you say, hey, something's not right here, you're a bad actor. You're a conspiracy theorist.
Right.
You
They
know,
discredit you. Yeah, keep going.
We have this evil plan that we've wrapped up in a bunch of pretty words, for the sheep to take and, use. And, well, it couldn't be bad because it's the happy fun joy bill. Like, it's so stupid and it's so blatant that I truly think that anyone, even some of these, now you got a lot of those true believers they're just going to go down with the ship. That's fine. But anyone who did some just monicum of research would start to realize that we're at the short end of the stick on this. Like,
You're 1000% correct. Netflix Forum says, how many people have heard of the Club of Rome versus Illuminati, Leon? That's my point. When we do that, when this stream is done and it's just a fucking YouTube video sitting out there in the ether, like the VOD for people to click on, I guarantee you at least half, probably more, are going to click on this thinking that it's not real or that it's like some sort of is being sensationalized or fictionalized and whatnot. Hopefully they watch the whole fucking stream and they realize, oh no, this is all is real.
All we did today was quote them.
Right. All we did was go to their website and then other places where their quotes are listed. It took, I won't lie, I thought this was going to be one of the most difficult episodes to put together. I had this episode built in like an hour. That, dude, normally it is just, not counting all the research and whatnot. You got to do all the research. But then after doing all the research, you got to pick and choose which key points to have in the stream, what links to have up, what goes out. Dude, normally, like, just the picking and choosing which sources to use and whatnot is like a 3 to 5 hour process, not including thumbnail time, everything, description, titling, all that. Dude, I had today's show like wrapped, packaged, and shipped ready to go in like an hour and a half. It was so easy. Because like you said, all we did was quote them.
And what were we doing?
You're agreeing with me, by the way, Netflix 4. I know you're agreeing. If I sound confrontational, it's because this situation is wild. But anyway, go on, Sammy.
He was making a point. And what were we doing the entire time? Just going down. We were just getting more and more black pill, just messaging each other like, "This is dark. I don't know if I'm ready for this. Is bad, dude." Like it was like the more it's like the new Supergirl movie. The more I see of it, the more I'm like, oh no. How could it possibly be worse?
And honestly, as awful as we were to the Club of Rome today, justifiably so, you can at least respect them a little bit for not having James Gunn as a member.
Yes. Oh, I'm sure he tried.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he tried to. I'm sure they rejected him. They're like, yeah, no, we're gonna go with like Scorsese. Sorry, Jimmy.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was Spielberg for sure.
Oh, Spielberg is all in on this shit. The way his fucking bleeding heart is for all of his like everything from the 90s and onward. Yeah, Spielberg is absolutely a shill for the fucking Club of Rome. That's the neat part. It can always be worse. Well, and that's that. You're right. That's the neat part, because if this is all the stuff they're saying on Maine, this is all the stuff on the website, this is all the stuff they're saying at their little like their meetings and their speeches and World Economic Forum gatherings. I say this. I've been saying this a lot in this show lately. But what aren't they telling us? What don't we know? If they're pretty much out, if they're out there on Main Street, on Front Street saying, look, we might have to commoditize private property. If they're willing to say that publicly, what are they, what in their speeches have been writing? They're like, oh, no, can't say that.
And yeah, and like I said, it'd be the first one. I was like, oh, you want to, get rid of private property? It was like, why don't we start with yours? Let's see how they react first. I was like, well, no, we can't do that.
Yeah,
this is for the peons. Not
again. How many of these people are at pro depopulation agenda but have 4, 5, 6, 7 fucking kids? Why? Because when you got billions and billions of dollars, you can fuck as many nannies and secretaries as you want. You got yourself a lot of little bastards running around out there. Oh, what? You got to pay $10,000 a month in fucking alimony or child support or anything like that. That's fucking chump change to them. They'll do it.
Oh, it also says that a big advocate for the Global 2000 report. It was done in 1980 by James Earl Carter Jr. Whenever I think he can't be worse of a president, Jimmy Carter just like he sounded retarded, so you could never really depict on how like what an evil globalist fuck he actually was.
But Sammy, he was a peanut farmer. He was down to earth, one of us.
Yeah, I know. He's an everyman, really.
Well, I think that about wraps up today's show. What do you think? Do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, like they were one of their big predictions was that society was gonna start to destabilize in 2030, and well, guys, if it does, you saw the list of all the members.
Their website is free.
Their website is free, and their addresses might not be, but we can end it there. I don't have to go any further.
Homie out here really on his Hassan Piker shit tonight. Yeah. No. As for me, I figured we'd see some comic gobbledygook. I didn't realize, like I said, it is so. Maybe I should, because I'm not surprised about any of their beliefs. I'm not surprised about any of their practices. I am surprised at how brazen and overt it is, and how little it gets talked about. Like even on places like X, they're very politically charged. You see people talking about the World Economic Forum. You see people talking about the United Nations. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone mention Club of Rome on X. I heard it offhandedly in a YouTube video a few months ago and like just notated it for a future episode. I didn't even know the validity of what would be what it would be, since I just offhandedly heard it in a YouTube video while I was playing games. How overt it was, that was the fucking like kicker for me.
That's my tipping point.
Put in the tinfoil haters section of the Discord. We have so many things.
Yes, please
and
do.
I'm not gonna. I won't lie. I'm not gonna remember Luce's trust. Like, just if you guys have stuff you want us to cover, put it in the tinfoil haters section of my Discord.
I like how you said brazen. And it also explains like why these sheep who like are just under this, like they're so emboldened to do whatever they want to do. It was like, well, we have these guys out loud just saying exactly what they're planning on doing, and like, why should they have any fear? That's what, why we're seeing. And it was like, well, wait, you'll watch these videos and they're like, wait, why are they arresting that guy? Yeah, you know what I mean? A lot of this stuff is starting to all come together. But yeah, no, this one was a tough one for me. I am very much politically at my fucking tipping point here. This is about as much as I can go without going on an absolute fucking rampage.
Speaking of your tipping point, next week no TFH, right? You said you weren't available.
Yeah, I won't be able to make it.
Okay, no worries. Me and Cindy will either still stream or we'll do a different kind of stream. That way there is still a Tuesday night stream. But yeah, no, I don't want to. I don't like doing TFH without Sammy unless I don't have any other options. So me and Cindy might just end up gaming or covering pop culture stuff. Who knows what? But yeah, just Sammy had told me privately. I wanted to make sure I had it right that it was next week. Because the whole reason I thought about it is because your shirt, you're wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Next Wednesday, the day after TFH, I'm seeing Weird Al live. So I was
nice.
Your Hawaiian shirt made me think. It's like, oh yeah, do I have to cancel stream? No, Wednesday streams are early in the day. So anyway, dope. Sammy, tell the people who you are, what you do, what you got coming out, the whole nine.
I'm Sammy 3Pete. I'm a Detroit-based musician. We are.
He puts the based in based.
I do, and I actually we are going into the studio at the end of this month. The album's going to be called All She Wrote, and which
is actually false advertising because they don't even have any women in the band, so there was no she that wrote anything.
Well, it's all the women who wrote to us and told us to stop calling. But no, so yeah, we have our first studio album with this band. My first studio album with this band in 13 years. So I'm excited to do something with them. And then Friday, I'm always on Roman's show. If Iron Oxide gets his shit together and actually has an Iron Cast tonight, I'll be on that. And then Saturday for Cave Cast, we are talking about Batman 89, which is like my favorite movie ever. So I'm looking forward to that. And there will be news this Sunday.
The news shall rise again. Rick Costa for a 5-banger just came out of Backrooms to say great show, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I quite liked Backrooms.
Yeah, I was
and I want to love it because I'm a huge Backrooms fan, but I quite liked it. What up? Hold my dual shot.
Look at these guys.
Andy, you're gonna love this episode, but we're ending right now. You're gonna want to go back and rewatch it. It's
yes.
You probably actually, knowing Andy, he probably knows all this shit already.
He probably does. He was one of those South Africans I wasn't talking about.
Yeah, right. There was a whole portion about some shit going on in South Africa tonight's show. But anyway, yes, this is correct, Krangle. This absolutely is war, and like I said, this is one of those episodes that I'm kind of wondering if it will at the very least get that little YouTube community note that they're doing now. But as for me, since we're wrapping up, videos and streams every day. If you've not checked out today's video, it is a clip from me, Cinevere, and Espiritu talking yesterday about the Asmongold Stellar Blade 2 situation. Videos popping off. I'm quite enjoying what's been coming of it. So I will see you guys tomorrow for the lunch hour. And that being said, yeah, video streams every day. Oh, we gotta get a raid. I got a raid. Shit. We're probably just gonna end up raiding Sevi. Let's be real, because I am a good boyfriend. Let's see. Live. And I know we'll be raiding Sevi on Kick. She's the only other active person on Kick that I follow. So redirect. Yeah, we're just gonna redirect to Sevi. She's playing James Bond right now. So since you guys just went through an entire stream about the real life Bond villains of the world, now go enjoy some James Bond gameplay. Until next community note, Words of Paradise has the right to defend himself. Other community note, Words of Paradise is not suicidal. So that being said, guys, thank you again so much. And until next time, it is all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise. Deuces.